Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and I was asked to channel a message from the Ancestors, and so this is a general collective message. I've really been talking to a lot of you in the zodiac readings. The dream card has been coming out a lot, and so I always encourage everybody to keep a dream journal, to make notes of the dreams that you remember, because there's usually messages in there. And so a couple of nights ago, I had this dream. I was in my bedroom. My youngest daughter was with me, and I noticed this red glowing thing on the carpet. And so I walked up to this red glow. It was like a bug on the carpet in my dream, and I walked up to this red bug, and it actually wasn't really a bug. It was a scorpion, a red scorpion. And just as I touched the scorpion, I woke up from my dream. And so red, I was like, what is the message in this? And then I kind of had to sit with that yesterday. And so I know many of us are in this deep state of isolation. And so something about illumination. I ended up pulling the scorpion card out of the spirit animal deck to kind of figure out what that dream meant. And then last night, my little peanut was up in the middle of the night, throwing up and not feeling well. And by the time I got back to sleep, it was like 3 in the morning. I was up, or like 5 in the morning. I was up for a few hours in the night cleaning up, and I had to wake up my oldest daughter and get her to take care of my peanut so I could run to the only like variety store open in the middle of the night at like 3 in the morning. Here I was going out in my PJs to get some ginger ale. But anyway, when I fell back asleep after that, I had a very intense dream. I woke up again. I'm going to say, I forget, it was early anyway. And I messaged a good divine feminine friend of mine in the UK. And I was like, what the hell does this mean? She actually was in the dream. She flew over with her teenage daughter. I was in the dream. My 2 daughters were in the dream. And my animals, everything. And it was just weird because the outside the house door was like my house. Inside the house was like my childhood home that I grew up in. And when you ventured down into the street, it was like my family neighborhood where I grew up. And so when I went outside in the dream, I remember hugging my girlfriend's daughter and all of that stuff. And there was like a black and white wolf when I went outside, and it looked like it was coming after me. I wasn't entirely sure. I wasn't scared in the dreams, and so wolf energy, right? So black and white, I had to sit with that, yin yang. And so when I first began my awakening, I was shown first comes the light, then comes the dark. And then once the dark is done, then you can kind of return to the light. And so black and white is like alchemizing the shadow self with the light body and reaching that yin yang 0 point is kind of how I took the wolf energy. So I also grabbed the wolf card out of the spirit animal deck. And I was asked to jump on and talk about this. And so there's a lot of important crossroads energy coming up right now. We do have Pluto that just went into Aquarius. And so there's going to be a lot of upheaval, especially when it comes to this Aquarian energy. And you know, whenever you're dealing with a Scorpio, I just want to say, get ready to be burned. I have this uncanny magnetic draw to call in scorpionic energy. Both of my daughter's fathers are Scorpio. I don't really share a whole bunch of that past story with y'all because it is the past and I've transmuted that and healed. But this morning, we had Mercury conjunct Chiron, and my Mercury is in Aries, and my karmic Scorpion X is Aries, is a Chiron in Aries, and I just let him have it. I've just about had it with the inconsistency, the deadbeat daddy issues. This has been an ongoing issue for many years, and I kind of just put it all on the table and I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And so there's all of this unresolved energy from the past is what it feels like surfacing, especially when it comes to a situation where you've been left feeling burned, for sure. And so it's kind of like, this is where I'm at too. So many in the collective are dishonest. You cannot embrace the healing journey unless you come clean about your feelings. Nobody can heal unless you come clean about your feelings. And so I know I've got a select few friends that are very, very important to me, that I trust absolutely with every fiber in my being. But when it comes to this Scorpion, I'm like, this festering issue, these unresolved issues just keep coming up time and time again. And so a lot of these karmics, I feel it's really time for them to come clean. They may appear fiery and fun, but I just want to say, like, I feel there's a lot of dishonesty right now. We're almost closing out the Scorpio South Node. We're going to have an eclipse coming up here. And so there's a lot of jealous, resentful, unresolved energies coming up when it comes to dishonesty and lack of forgiveness. And so for me, I've gone through many spirals and forgiven, but I'm never going to forget. And I'm kind of stepping into this balanced state of I'm free and I'm fierce and I'm not backing down. These are my boundaries. And if you can't honor them, then you don't hold value in my life. And so what does the wolf represent? The day after the Scorpion dream, I get the wolf. And the wolf does represent the guardian of a family, the guardian of a tribe. And let me tell you, what I was dealing with before was no guardian, was no protector, was no masculine provider. He was a taker. And this is where we're at on the journey. If we are to drain the life force back from these Jezebel entities that drain us and steal us and use us and manipulate us, we have to take our power back. And so this Aquarian energy is time to be an activist. It's time to stop sitting idle. It's time to stop burying the truth. It's time to start talking about these big elephants in the room. And so what is the wolf's mission? The wolf comes to uphold, to protect the longevity of the pack, of the family. A healthy wolf energy will express itself through activism, mentorship, and humanitarian efforts. The wolf is a teacher, a religious or spiritual, political teacher. And so right now, I feel the collective is kind of getting into trouble, is what I feel like. There's this dominating judgmental energy coming forward that is unreliable. And so somebody here is getting into trouble and they've assumed that everybody will just take care of them for you. And so I want to really stress, children will always walk in their parents' footsteps. And if we don't break these generational cycles now, what kind of gift are we leaving for these future generations? We're just leaving them a pile of ancestral karma and garbage to clean up, right? And so children will always follow suit with what the environment is that they are raised in. And so where are all my healthy masculine energies out there? Because I've yet to meet a true blue wolf, is what I want to say. And so in order to be a true wolf, we have to really look at the tribal unit itself. And this includes the children, because let's face it, these children are our future. These children are going to rule the world one day. So what kind of child do you want to facilitate, to raise in this world? And so this intolerance, this lack of acceptance, I feel is getting very uncomfortable. And I do feel there's a very out of balance, agitated wolf energy that has tried to exclude the truth out of their life. And so the only way to come into balance is to be reliable, to be accountable, to come from a place of integrity, and to let it go, right? And we can forgive, but we usually don't forget, right? And we all get hurt. We all go through these cycles of pain. And so I wanted to bring those two cards out to start the reading off. The wolf and the scorpion. And so we're going to dig a little bit deeper with some more cards. Oh, there's that crow. Oh dear, the crow likes to find me for sure. But you know, the crow does speak of death and transformation. So let's see what needs to come through. And I think, oh, look at, I was going to clarify. We'll put that back in. We're going to clarify. We're going to see what other energies come out with the scorpion versus the wolf. And then I'm going to get a few more different oracle messages. So clarify the scorpion for me a little bit deeper, please. Can you clarify the scorpion? Oh, there we go. Well, we got a lizard and a panther. I feel somebody's dealing, I'm going to say, with a reptilian of some sort, some type of like lower vibration energy. A reptile, right? Somebody very cold, somebody very sneaky, and then we get this panther, and this panther's like, back off. So I feel somebody's dealing with a scorpion of some sort. Doesn't have to be a Scorpio. Could have somebody with heavy Scorpio in their chart, and I feel what goes around comes around, and I do feel somebody is getting ready to act, and maybe to expose this energy with the panther. Let me see if I can find the panther energy quick in the book, because I really don't use this deck very often. I try to kind of just do the cards intuitively, but I don't know why the panther would be in with the water element, but we will have a quick look here. The lizard. So the lizard actually speaks of non-committal. So there's somebody here that I feel is never going to commit. If you have been with somebody, I'm just going to say this, twin flame relationship or not, I've learned a lot of hard lessons on my relationship journey with a lot of karmic cycles. And if after 6 months, somebody doesn't know if they want to commit to you, and that's what you want out of a relationship, they're flaky, they're elusive, they're non-committal, cut your losses. They're never going to commit if they're not willing to commit within the first 6 months to a year. Trust me, cut your freaking losses because it's likely going to be a waste of time. I also feel here a spiritual telepathic connection, and maybe a scorpionic energy has kind of come between two people that are destined to be together. But where is that panther? I just cannot find it, it seems. So did I skip it? I skipped it. Oh, I like this. Annihilation. And that's where we're at. That's that Aquarian energy. Annihilation of anything unnecessary. A massive collective purge. You know, that's another thing too. When my ex, he used to like some really horror shows, like horror, gory movies. I can't watch anything with blood or, you know, violence. It really triggers me, and it triggers my wounding when it comes to being physically abused by pretty much every man I've ever dated. So I don't like, you know, UFC fighting, none of that stuff. We're here to release the fighting programming. And so the panther is not going to stand to see anybody stagnate in these energies. And so get ready for somebody to pounce. I think there's going to be all kinds of havoc and chaos coming up here. I don't know why I'm having a hard time speaking. There's going to be something unexpected, something uncomfortable, and there's going to be something that is going to be utterly devastating, is what it feels like, in order for something to completely transform. And you know, after the dust settles, I do feel like you're going to be a whole different person from this experience, right? And so you're going to have to trust that no matter what destruction is taking place in your life as we move further into Pluto, into Aquarius, this is going to lead you to a brighter place in your life. And so the panther comes in to spotlight these self-destructive behaviors, to get rid of the unnecessary in order for you to be a little bit more productive in your life. So that's what's going on with the Scorpios. So let's clarify the wolf. So this is where I feel we're at. Major, major destruction to prepare for these very high vibration tribal units and family foundations. And there's that freaking crow. and so that crow wants to come out with the bear. We get the crow clarifying the wolf with the gazelle. So I know the crow means death. It also means spiritual transformation. The crows absolutely love me for some reason. Where is that crow? So spiritually strong, right? So this is, it can be very ungrounded, and I do feel the energy is a little bit hypersensitive with all of these energies kind of working together in order to clear the pathway for strong psychic intuitive insights to kind of come through. So daily meditation will really help you bring yourself back into balance after the destruction. And the crow really is a symbol of magic, right? The crow symbolizes the supernatural gift for seeing the unseen, right? And so the crow is probably one of the most intelligent birds. Crows hold within them their third eye, mind. They can hold 3 realities in them all at once, past, present, and future. And so it's potent, and you should not be tapping into that energy if you are not clear and concise with your intentions, because you have to have a balance in your life if you are to ground these spiritual studies. And then we get the gazelle, which is also some water energy. I should be able to find the gazelle pretty quickly, guys, because I'm not... I know where the water is. Yeah, so the wolf is coming into this heightened awareness. We could have a wolf energy here dealing with the scorpion. We've got a wolf energy here coming into heightened awareness, and I do think the energy is vulnerable, but I feel this hyper awareness of what's going on in your current environment. So there is definitely a situation where somebody, I feel, has dealt with some type of predator, narcissistic, trauma bonded predator of some sort. And I do feel somebody just wants to be free. And so there's this insomnia, this racing mind, as these perceptions kind of shift collectively. So let's get some senses of the soul. Oh, interesting. So I pre-shuffled these. Trust and embrace the spiritual blueprint of your life. And then we get the blue star. My guides have asked me to put this one down. That come out in the other reading that I did the other day, and I forgot to read out of the book. So I can't believe that's on the bottom of the deck. So that's Spirit saying, hello, you left me behind the other day. Can you read me today? Can you read me? So there's that shaman that came through in the last, I believe, the last twin flame reading. And this is not a twin flame reading by any means, but the shaman would resemble the wolf energy and then the lavender, right? And so we cannot step into these new higher vibrations until we fully align with our truth and divine will. Then we step into shamanism, right? So let's see what else needs to come through here. Look at, and then we got this bear too on the bottom of the deck. That looks very enlightened. Savannah, can you turn that down, please, honey? And so for me, the bear is like a mama bear, right? That's a mama bear energy. And so we likely got a mother here that maybe got burned by a scorpion and is preparing to call in a high vibration masculine energy. So you're exactly where you need to be, is what I want to say. If you're in the midst of destruction, you're exactly where you need to be, and your way forward is going to become crystal clear. I love that. It's a 21 card, so that's the world. And so I did notice some stomach discomfort too, like solar plexus tugging, as if people were trying to cord to my solar plexus. So you might want, that's the ginger, right? I had to go in the middle of the night for that ginger ale. So I do feel like a recalibration of the solar plexus. I'm not taking that pile, but I'm going to take the gold star, the 66. So progression, divine blueprint activation, heart healing, which would equal absolute truth. And so release fear so that you can experience the sweetness of your life. And yes, somebody was dealing with an enchantress that I feel kind of got them in some type of trap here. So the blue star and the gold star. So we're in the higher chakras, where these are attached to the 9th chakra. And so we actually have 13 chakras that we can reach above the 7. And I've been to the 13th chakra, which would be the 13th dimension. And so the blue star does speak of divine karmic freedom, but that also requires making a choice to take those next steps, right? And so we're all being called collectively to, pardon me, open up to our true divine nature. Whether you're feminine or masculine, our earthly identity at the core is a spiritual form. We are both masculine and feminine, so we're here to kind of transcend that earthly identity, right? And so right now I do feel there's a lot of guides, angels, and ascended masters kind of working with the collective as we go into this place of receiving all of these downloads, spirits surrounding us, pushing us into action with this wise and intuitive information. And so there's a lot shape-shifting when it comes to esoteric knowledge, the esoteric arts, our spiritual wisdom, and our divination practices. And so once we achieve divine karmic freedom and we cut those cords, then we can go through this massive soul expansion, right? And so we can embrace the flow of love, our divine creativity, our manifesting skills, and we experience the divine oneness of the masculine and feminine. So maybe this is a twin flame reading. And so the oneness, and so we are in an advanced stage of spiritual purification to reach spiritual harmony at this point. So let's pull in with some tarot. And I actually was drawn to use the Voyager Tarot today. I bought this deck a while back from the metaphysics shop in town here. And I've never really used it, I don't think, in a reading. And I was drawn to this today for some reason. So we get the moon. We get the moon. Really nice, unique deck. So we got a major arcana here with the moon. And the Child of Wands, or the Seeker of Wands. So kind of like a page energy, right? So there could be a hidden new beginning here. I do feel somebody could be dealing with somebody very immature, acting like a child. This could have to do with an unhealthy parent-child dynamic, an unhealthy father-child dynamic, something about the moon. And I do believe right now the moon is in Gemini. If I look, yeah, it is. It's in Gemini. I got my laptop right there. And it will be going into Cancer. So I feel right now we're dealing with a lot of dualistic thought processes. And the moon is aspecting Pluto. I just want to say that if I have a quick look here, guys. The moon, oh, it is not. Pardon me, I was wrong. It's Chiron aspecting Pluto. So that's unearthing these wounds to the surface, right? So we'll get a few more shuffles here, and then we're going to kind of see what's going on here. I do feel the disempowerment to bring the awareness for the transformation, but we're going to see what the current energies are and why my ancestors are so insistent on doing an ancestor message. Regeneration, the Sage of Cups. So this would be like a divine feminine energy. I saw a car outside. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. That's what it feels like. Scattered distractions, right? Scattered energy and growth. So the sage, and in order to regenerate and to become that wise sage, we do have to embrace this period of growth with the Ten of Wands, and we have to release, right? We have to release. We might have to release a King of Cups here who kind of just surfs through life, feeding off of people's energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But it is the energy of knowing that it's time to release something in order to go to the next cycle. And so this Ten of Wands, it's like there's the baby's hand, and then there's, it looks like a tree branch hand. And so there we go back to the I am Groot message that I channeled a while back. Maybe I'll tag the I am Groot at the end. I channeled that a while ago. And so there is a feminine here too that is, I feel, rejoicing after a release of some sort. And so what's behind you is the Chariot. So there might have been a quick exit here recently. There could have been an unexpected, there could have been a loss of fortune here recently that allows somebody to get control of a situation and pack up their stuff and to get moving. It could be a Cancer, but I do feel, you know, the past too, what's behind you, it's like one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back. And so you know where you want to go and you're raring to go. But the universe is like, no, 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 no. You got some delays. You got some challenges here. You have some you haven't dealt with. And so I do feel like a huge loss of fortune in order for this seeking journey to begin. So let's take a look at the near future. Did you see that mess? I just feel that's where I'm at. A lot of things are messy. So the near future, we get the Hermit. There's going to have to be a period of going within in order to understand the lesson at hand, right? We don't grow when we're connected to other people. We do our biggest growth when we go within. And you know, when we're constantly connected to other people's energies, when we're constantly surrounding ourselves with people to avoid being alone, you don't grow, you don't evolve, and you stay stuck and you stay stagnant. And so what does the Hermit do? The Hermit goes within. The Hermit needs to spend time alone to find the wisdom, to learn the lessons. Could be a Virgo, and it is in the energy of the Hermit that we do experience our biggest breakthroughs. And so somebody here has been an actor. Somebody here has been putting on a show, wearing a mask. The Man of Wands, which is the Chiron. So I could be talking about a man or woman with their Chiron and Aries right now who's put on a good show. They've been an actor. They've not been honest, and they're about to get a breakthrough. The Nine of Wands is like, if you're not going to consciously choose to regenerate, well, I'm going to bring you to your knees, and you're going to learn this lesson, and you're going to go within. And I feel somebody's on defense. I feel somebody's got a lot of people accusing them right now, and somebody's been hiding, avoiding the exposure to the lies is what it feels like. And so there's no nurturing in this person's life, the Three of Worlds. So let's see what's hidden below the surface. Oh, that was a better shot. Learner. Get ready to learn a very tough life lesson. And it's the Child of Crystals. So the Chiron wound does go all the way back to childhood. And so get ready to learn something about your past. Get ready to understand why you've been acting, why you've been putting on a show, why you can't stand to be alone. And let me tell you, anybody that cannot stand to be alone and do any amount of self-reflection is because they are there to project everything back onto you. People that cannot self-reflect, they will never go within. They will never learn their lessons. You don't want to be around people like that, because if a person is unable to self-reflect, then everything is going to be blamed on everybody else. Nobody is ever to blame. Like, they're not to blame for their own misfortunes. It's everybody else's fault because, you know, well, I'm putting on a show, and if you don't believe me, that's on you, right? And so I kind of feel the divine higher power is stepping in order for this learning experience is what it kind of feels like. And so the overall outcome, though, well, we get the Six of Worlds reversed, the Five of Crystals reversed, the Man of Worlds reversed, and the Four of Wands reversed, and there you got it. There's a breakdown of a false foundation. There's a lack of unity to here. There's definitely no victory, no synergy, and I do feel like it's time to release this negativity. I do feel a wave of some really dark negativity coming up here as we close out the Scorpio North Node coming up here. And so somebody here has no aspirations, has no achievements. We got the Man of Worlds, which I feel is kind of like this King of Coins. We got a King of Coins here that is selfish and greedy. All they care about is money. They don't nurture. They don't take care of anybody. All they care about is themselves and hoarding their money, putting on a show. It's like a false status quo foundation of, I got my name brand clothes, I got my brand new truck, I got all of this material stuff. But does that actually feed your soul? Like, I don't know. I like to have a nice home and nice things, and I've had to start over many times, and the only thing that's important to me, really important to me, are like my pets and my kids. Stuff can be replaced, can always rebuild, right? And so we've got an overachiever here that I feel overworks to avoid having any type of emotional intimacy. They don't really give. They hoard their money. They're selfish. They're greedy. And they're about to experience a tower. The Four of Wands is no unity. That's a breakdown of a false foundation. And if we hold the card upright, that tower is burning down at the bottom. And so I do feel this is to go into sacred reverence. And then we get the Ten of Worlds in reversed. So that's like the Ten of Coins in reversed. This is total ruin. And that's what Pluto comes in to do, to destroy, to upheave the status quo, and to break apart third-party love connections. Somebody here was playing games, Three of Cups, the Sun reversed. There's been a lack of enlightenment, a lack of truth, a lack of honesty. And I think get ready to go into some deep sorrow in order to really figure out why, right? We can't break the cycles until we fully understand why. I think that's it for today, guys. I'm kind of tired. It's been a long day. I hope that helped you. I hope you found this message useful. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below. Come and join me again tomorrow morning for the Twin Flame forecast for the week ahead. And we will talk a little bit more about these energies then. Have a great Sunday, everybody. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.